We rolling? This morning, I was watching the news and it talked about Donald Trump authoritarianism. This country is a republic, as many of you might know, run under a democracy. It's funny how the people who came to this country keep calling America and Trump and the people who work for him authoritarian, when all Trump is doing is enforcing the laws that are and have always been a part of our democracy. They just weren't enforced. So now that they're being enforced, we have to be labeled as some type of monster country. The people that are out there making these videos, you all look at them, you see white skin, if they don't have an accent, and you all think that they're white people. No, they're not white people. They're immigrants. They're concerned that their parents might have to get out the country. They're concerned that they may have to get out. They're concerned that their children might have to get out the country. Anyone who came here after the 1900s came here as an immigrant. You were not already here. Now, a lot of people were already here. So they're going to hear them screaming about authoritarianism. But you hear a lot of Jews, you hear a lot of Italians, you hear a lot of Turkish, Armenians. The Asians, they're quiet. They don't say nothing. They just sit back in the gap. But you hear a lot of them. As a matter of fact, the only thing I've heard the Asians say was that Black Americans, the FBAs, Freed Black American People, is really FBAP. But once you say Black Americans, we know you're talking about people. So the P doesn't, they just don't say people. They finally said, and some white people, that we were right all along. All of this that Trump is doing is about money. It's not about being an authoritarian. This is not an authoritarian country. And because you may or may not have come here under the correct circumstances, or your parents may or may not have come here under the correct circumstances, that doesn't make the democracy that is my country an authoritarian, because Trump is in office enforcing laws that were created before the man was born. These aren't Trump laws. They make these videos and they put the information out there, but they don't look up the law to see, can Trump do this? Why is he doing this? Who gave him the authority to do this? In our democracy, there was always a plan to protect America and American soil from overcrowding. When it gets overcrowded, we had to have a system to say, okay, some people got to leave. That system was in place before Trump got there. And because hands were being greased on the Democrat and the Republican side, nobody said a thing. Everybody ignored it. Everybody looked the other way while this country became too crowded. It's funny how my mother taught me this. My mother taught me this. She passed away 1992. Almost said 94, but not 94. And she's been telling me these things, me, not the rest of my brothers and sisters, I've recently found out, but she's been explaining these things to me in preparation, I guess, so that when people say the country is this and the country is that, I'm like, no, this has been on the books. None of this stuff is new. What are you people talking about? Trump is creating authoritarian. No, he's not. He's just enforcing the laws under our democracy, our republic. Don't call our country, don't come here, immigrate here, and then call my country, call America an authoritarian. Don't try to change what my country is, because what my country is was before Trump. Otherwise, he would not, excuse me, he would not be able to do any of the stuff that he's doing. It's not an authoritarian because it adversely affects you now. Now you have an aversion to it because you and your family may have come here the right way, they may not have. But now there's something called Office of Remigration. I believe it's re-immigration, but Trump has named it re-migration. But it does include immigrants who came here legally the right way. It's not the best view, but that's okay. It's not going to be a long video. I just wanted to explain. These people are very offensive. They have come here and taken over the Democrat and the Republican Party. While actual Americans, black, white, Asian, whatever, Italian, so many people call themselves white, that's not white. I'll give it to them that they're white, but they're not Caucasian. There's a difference. Oh, they're trying to do ethnic cleansing. No, they're not. There's too many of you here. Too many people in North America. What Trump is planning on doing now with his Office of Reimmigration is sending people who are here legally back home. That's the plan. So he created, as I was saying before, Office of Remigration, because immigrants are simply people who migrated to the country. You all want to have all these fancy words that are not in the Constitution. They're not in the statute. They're not in the criminal statute. They're not in the civil statute. When this country was created, it was created to allow a certain amount of people per year into the country. It was never a free-for-all. You see, this is exactly what I didn't want to be doing. It was never meant for that purpose. So you have a YouTube. And what YouTube does, because they themselves are immigrants, the people who own YouTube. One is an Indian and one is a Jew. They're both migrants in this country. Trump wants to get rid of dual citizenship. Again, already in the law. People who came here illegally, of course, they're just going to be put out. They're giving them $1,000 to relocate if they stay in their country. But what ICE is doing is going around and getting everybody's picture. So we might not know your ID, the ID that somebody gave you when you got here, but taking that picture and putting you in the system, if you were ever stopped again, all of that information is going to be there. A lot of you came here legally, but you're wanted in your own country and you don't want to go back. Come on, it's just common sense. Who wants to go back to their country? Your family committed crimes in your country. Who wants to go back to that? No one. Nobody wants to go back. Ooh. What? So, I said that said all this to say, this re-immigration or remigration, it's not going to affect people like me. I am the children of the slaves. And what we have been asking you people that migrated to this country to do, no matter what your race is, it doesn't matter, any race, we have been asking you and telling you that this country stole our inheritance. We literally had towns in New York, Selma, all over the United States, black towns only. Not because we wouldn't allow you guys to live there, but because back then you had to separate yourself. That's just what they did back then. But we have been saying to you and asking you, vote people into office that will pay reparations. Oh, you don't deserve anything. You're not a slave. It's not about me or anybody else being a slave. It's that they destroyed our towns. That was our inheritance. All of the FBAs, the white ones and the black ones, because some people got white skin, but they're black. We created those towns because we could not live in white society. And they bombed them. They destroyed them. Not just the 2 that they show on the news. We had 20 towns dispersed all throughout America. We had railroads. We had banks. We had jails. We had schools. We had colleges. We had homes, literal homes. And the government destroyed our homes. And they destroyed our homes with some white Americans. They did. But we don't care about the white Americans, because white Americans, those people are dead. The government is not dead. And this government, this republic is set up to pay reparations to people that are owed the money. And if you don't pay the people that you owe the money to, that goes to their heirs. The slaves were not heirless. We are the children of the slaves. We are the heirs. So the debt continues generation after generation, because if you never pay the debt, you continue to owe the debt. This is a debt that doesn't go away in 400 years, in 300 years. It doesn't go away because the people died. Now you owe the descendants. The word descendant of the slaves is all throughout the United States Constitution and all throughout the laws to distinguish us from other people that call themselves black. All right, I'm going to go. But I just wanted you to know why you don't see black people out there trying to help y'all with the republic that you moved to, that you migrated to, or your grandparents or your great-grandparents. We're not going to help you. Some of you will be allowed to stay, but the majority of you have to leave. That's just the simple truth of it all. The other thing about, I said nobody wants to pay us $25 an hour to do something if you guys are going to do it for $11 an hour. What happened when the migrants left? The farmers said, oh, we have these wonderful jobs, $11 an hour. But we will not qualify to get an apartment, a car, a loan, or anything at $11 an hour. So why would a person work for $11 an hour and not be able to pay for a place to stay, not be able to have a vehicle? See, $11 an hour keeps us destitute. And some people say, well, why didn't they do this and why didn't they do that? It's the area that they lived in. It's designed to do that, but it was designed to do it to us. Now it's designed to do it to you, and you want us to do what? Y'all went out there and voted for this man. You wouldn't vote for people that would pay reparations and money for the people. That's not a handout. How many billions of dollars, hundreds of millions and billions of dollars have been sent to other countries? Oh, it's going to cost so much to pay reparations. No, it's not. Even the money for the people. There's a law that says that. When inflation is too high and when costs are too high, you bring your people out of debt. You all being here are costing it to be this high. Why does Trump want Greenland? Why is Trump doing this? See, he's such a fucking idiot and a fool. The things that he's doing that's correct, it seems strange. It seems crazy. We had and still have treaties with all these people that I did a long video on years ago. I'm not going to even do it again. And as those treaties expired, The debt that those countries owed was forgiven. It was put aside. The country said, oh, our GDP is not that strong, we can't pay you. And we kept doing business with them, kept sending them hundreds, some millions of dollars worth of contracts. Let us not pay our debt. You know what they do? They put it on our credit. We don't get to keep doing business and getting hundreds of millions of dollars from the next person. We're still giving these other countries hundreds of millions of dollars. That's what Trump is doing. That's the law. It seems crazy because you all don't know the law, which says what? You all really didn't want to be Americans. Because if you wanted to be American, you would have come and you would have learned our laws. You would know that Trump's not violating the law. You wouldn't be making videos saying that this man is violating the law. He is not. He's not violating the law. He's just enforcing the laws under our democracy. The laws that have been on the books before he got there. Why? Because there's so many people here that the people who are here can't make it. And a lot of people say, well, he wants to replace people with other white people. Yes, he just wants Caucasians. He don't want white people. He wants Caucasians. Blacks and Caucasians. That's what his plan is. It doesn't matter where you come from in the world. You all have come here. You've taken over land, buildings, banks. You had your fun. But what you did not do was support the black people, the FBAs in this country. And some of y'all still out there talking SHIT about us. So we're going to let you find out for yourself. Why would we get involved? You all have never supported us. You've never supported our cause. The laws that they took away, the Civil Rights Act, all this other stuff. Oh, now they want white men want to sue. Yeah, they need to sue. They need to sue because the foreigners who came to this country, legally and illegally, have taken their spots. Not us. We always had to survive amongst ourselves. We always had to help each other's businesses. But we shop, at the big businesses and corporations too. But y'all come here and set up shop. Say you open up a store where you serve food. You ain't got no food for nobody black in your store. Why? If there's a black store next to you, y'all walk around past the door and go to every store except for the black store. Even if you don't want what's in it, you should be supporting the business. And now you want us to go out there and stomp for you? Not gonna happen. Not gonna happen. All right, let me do the other half of my head. Go take care of my business that I gotta take care of, because we are not an authoritarian country, and that's what I wanted to stress. And I wanted to explain why FBAs freed Black Americans. We're not against you. You were against us. We didn't do anything to you. We didn't get in your way. We didn't bomb your stores. We even patronized your stores. As a matter of fact, we shopped at your stores, even though y'all didn't shop at ours. We helped your business. Somebody here from Jamaica and some Spanish guy I had to tell last night. I guess he's Spanish or some white guy, I don't know. The race of the person is. They literally said, I was poor. Okay. And I started a business. Okay. I did it and you could do it too. How did you start a business if you were poor? You needed a job and you needed money or you needed a loan. So stop saying I did this, I did this, I did that. You did nothing. Because if you have a business in America, unless you have merchants to purchase your product or your service, your business will fail. So stop saying that we are the reason you have a business. If you have a YouTube channel, we are the reason that you have a YouTube channel. We don't have to be Patreons. We just have to watch and hit the like button and keep watching. So reparations is owed, money for the people, for 2 years. Whether, I doubt it'll happen in Trump's administration, but if you all stop voting for Democrats and Republicans and independents who are not promising, when I get in office, I'm going to pay first thing. I'm going to do a reorganization, the same reorganization that Trump's doing. The Congress does allocate money, but there is also a way to go around their allocation of the money. See, they left that in there so that they themselves could use it. And so now Trump's using it. Again, everything you are saying that he's doing, it's within the law. Oh, the court is biased. The court is racist. Yeah, they might be. But guess what? Their decisions that they're making is because of the laws that Congress put on the book. Well, who is Congress? The Democrats and Republicans that we voted into office. So think about that. If the Democrats and the Republicans in office now and in office prior have laws that make it so that a Trump can come along and enforce the laws, why are the goddamn laws on the book to begin with? Trump didn't make the law. He's enforcing the law that's already on the books. That tells you that this day was coming. And you don't like it because a Republican, Trump, is doing it. But guess what? He can't do anything that Democrats and the Republicans did not authorize together. Right? They authorized it. Oh, it wasn't supposed to be used that way. Bullshit. Why are you making a law to be used that way? And then when it's used that way, say it wasn't supposed to be used that way because you don't like the person who's enforcing it. This is why I don't get upset. This is why I'm not upset, because these laws have been on our books forever. Democrats and Republicans. So you got the little smart aleck Democrats now that are just the Democratic Party. My whole party was taken over. The Democratic Party is now consists of nothing but complete foreigners, the DNC. There are no black or white people in the DNC. Everybody is an immigrant. Legal immigrant, but everybody is an immigrant. What they're trying to do is change the Constitution. But it does not matter how many of you all get together, you cannot change the Constitution. The Democrats and Republicans before you already thought of that. So if you try to change it, or if you try to add on to it an annotation, and it appears that the annotation is changing the existing law, it's going to be knocked down by the courts. They already thought of all of this, and when black people try to explain this to you, maybe not as eloquently as probably I'm laying it out and explaining it right now, because maybe they just use a slang or a saying, right? They haven't taken the time to create a 23-minute video, which I have to go because I know you're not gonna watch past 2 minutes, right? And then I'm a woman, and then I'm black. You might not like my shirt because it got Mickey Mouse on it. I grew up with Mickey Mouse. Whatever. I don't let people dictate to me. It means you're gay. No, it doesn't. It means it's a mouse that I watched as a cartoon growing up. That's it. Same thing with all the other characters. Anyway, you people are upset with Trump when Trump didn't create the law, because now the law is being enforced against you all. I have asked and made several videos about reparations and money for the people. Not one without the other, because see, even though I do want the reparations, which is owed, not because I'm a slave, but because I'm an heir. I'm an heiress. It's owed to me. You did not pay my grandparents, my great-grandparents, my great-great-grandparents, my mother or my grandmother or my grandfather. You didn't pay me, you didn't pay my children or my grandchildren. So the debt is still there. But putting that aside, the reason I asked for reparations and money for the people is because, let's just say they pay reparations and black people are able to start businesses. We're going to need somebody to be in business with. Yes? We're going to need other Americans to invest. Getting out of debt, getting Americans out of debt so that they can invest is a way to combat capitalism. How many times do I have to say it? So if you put people in, instead of the capitalists and the corporations, which are capitalists, getting the tax relief, we will get some tax relief, our own taxes. Don't say there's not enough and it's a big bill. And one of the reasons that Trump is actually wanting to take over Greenland is for the goods and services to come in and out of the country. He's going to make that a port. There was talk about making that a port so that we're not relying on China and Europe. Huh? See, the things that Trump does, right? Oh my God, he's taking over, authoritarian, this and that. No, we have a treaty. Why have we been protecting Greenland? What is our interest? Nobody bothered to take the money and put the ports on Greenland because the prior Democrats and Republicans in Congress were taking handout paybacks. That's why. And everyone that came in, for the longest time, it was under Nancy Pelosi, the Mitch McConnell, and those people like that. They started dying off. So they recruit the next ones to keep the status quo. Donald Trump came in, boom, blew up the status quo. He said, no, we're not going to keep doing business as usual. Pay your taxes. We're going to raise the tariff. The farmers are screaming and hollering, and a lot of y'all lost your farms, yes. But we got to be able to get exports and have imports and exports in and out of the country without relying on China. So there's two ports that Donald Trump is saying, you know what, we've been helping you all this time. We've been giving you money. When your country is at risk, we provide security for you. You're going to be our ports of entry for our goods and services. That's what he's doing. Why would I, as a black person, be upset about that? But you have everybody that's screaming about it, saying he's being an authoritarian to make you think he's taking over somebody else's country. No, he's not. No, he's not. I know you're not going to watch my video that I made about the tariffs. I went and pulled it up and listed the countries in the video. If I can find it, I made it a few years ago. I'll probably reissue it again. Well, I said I was going to make this 25 minutes, and it is now 29 minutes. So you all have a nice day.